Catrin, really looking forward to seeing you on the 29th of October.
Oh, and me, yeah. Look, I'm really looking forward to Brangwyn Hall, Swansea, and although it's a sort of somewhat sad event in some ways, isn't it? That
Mm.
what's being commemorated and remembered, but nevertheless, I think it'll be a great celebration of Welsh talent and a fabulous night of music, won't it?
Yeah, and lovely having Hugh there, and of course, new music from Sir Carl. Before we go to that, I mean, obviously, you were involved in the service that was held at Llandaff Cathedral. An incredible responsibility and an honour as well, but you've been a part of that world for quite some time, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. So, my years as Royal Harpist date back to 2000 to 2004 now. So, some time ago. But I have ever since then remained some degree of contact with the now King and the things he does, and I've played for him on various occasions, and also very much been a part of appointing the new harpist as and when that comes around. So every 4 years, they we audition for the next royal harpist to come and take their place and their role. And so it's a great thing for me to be involved with that. It's a position that hopefully will continue and keep being passed around a young Welsh harpist as it was originally intended to do. It's always an honour to be invited to take part in these events. The events over the last few weeks, have been yeah, just something that you kind of will never forget the experience of in a
Mm,
way,
mm.
and it is it is an honor. It is something as a musician that is a wonderful experience, I guess,
It's a
and
great
so
platform, isn't it?
getting.
It's a platform, because having that title underneath, harpist, it says what you've done and what the new harpist is doing as well. Is there still a good flow of young harpists, Welsh harpists coming through?
Oh yeah, no, definitely there is. In fact, more than ever, to be honest. And increasingly, the audition process gets harder and harder every time, because the standard of playing and the amount of young harpists coming out of Wales is great, really. And that that can only be a massive achievement for the harp world, really. And
Mm.
how fabulous that actually it's really difficult to choose from so many young great harpists here in Wales. So yeah, I think it is thriving actually. The harp world is thriving more than ever, and I see young harpists from Wales, not only from Wales. I've started teaching at the Royal Academy of Music now, and the standard of playing in young musicians is just amazing. I watched the final of BBC Young Musician over the weekend, and you just think it's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
These young musicians, they're doing what they do, and it's just wonderful to embrace that and celebrate it, really.
Yeah. Okay. I am going to come to our concert, but still your concerts because you're on tour all the time, in your where you play all night. I mean, we're sort of basically we've got a part-time job for you on the 29th because you're going to come in. But are you still enjoying going out? Because it's a tough life, isn't it? It's not like playing a harmonica. You're playing a
Yeah,
full-size harp and you're going to different venues all the time. Are you still enjoying that? Is it still a challenge? Something you still love?
yeah, no, very. I love it, and actually, as with every other musician, COVID came along over the last few years, and we suddenly found ourselves sat at home twiddling our thumbs, and that kind of slightly scary reality that for the first time, for me anyway, um, it showed the volatility actually of the performing world,
Mm.
and how you're so reliant on outside things to make it work. And I'd never really appreciated that actually, because I've always been lucky enough to just have gigs in the
Yeah.
diary and stuff to look forward to. So um, yeah, I think more than ever actually, I'm appreciating those chances to be out and performing and to be back in on the stage. And it's a struggle saying that. I think a lot of venues are struggling. A lot of the music world actually is still struggling from that period. And it's there's so many challenges all around us, whether it be cost of living crisis or COVID or whatever it was. It's that you still feel actually that it's challenging for people to come out and to be part of the scene again as it was. But it is getting back to where it was, and I do feel that I kind of live off it really, that warmth from that when you perform, when you travel around, you become accustomed to it really as a lifestyle. And and I think more than ever I really appreciate the opportunities to go out and tour, actually.
Yeah. So when you're doing a regular tour, you do, I suppose, a similar program every night. Now, we're inviting you to come to our concert and to be a star performer on a couple of pieces. Now then, we've got a couple of weeks to go. How's it looking?
Yeah.
Do you know all the notes? No. I mean, how do you prepare for a one-off gig then, where you played Trossachgarrig? I heard you at the Brangwyn, and it blew me away. That must have been 4 or 5 years ago. So you have played it, but you haven't played it for some time, I expect, have you?
No, not at all. So I'll make sure I've got it all back up to scratch and my fingers know what they're doing. And so it's always, I'm very much looking forward to working with Carl again. Carl and I go back, oh my gosh, years and years and years. And, I've been involved with various pieces and projects with him along the way. So Trossachgarrig was one of the first things he wrote for me. And actually, it was the fourth movement of a double harp concerto that he wrote, which was commissioned by the then Prince of Wales. And we did it, we premiered it, myself and Eleanor Bennett, who was one of my old harp teachers, back in 2002. So we premiered it with the BBC National Orchestra of Wales at St David's Hall. So, and that, it's a piece and a movement that's remained with me throughout my career since then, really. I'm going to be playing that. I'm going to be playing Palladio, which is, one of Carl's big hits. Yeah. And an arrangement he did for me on a CD we did together for Sony Classical, around the same time, actually. That was back in 2001, called a CD called Crossing the Stone. Yeah. So we're going to be doing a version of that, and then of course there's the new commission that Carl has written. Yeah. And how great, So the part came in the post the other week, and it's just so fabulous every time a new piece comes in and actually these days you get an email. So Boozy and Hawks, who are Carl's publishers, emailed, and they'll be like, "Oh, do you want a digital version or do you want the paper version?" And I'm still really old school, so I'll always say, "Oh my God, can I please still have the actual paper music?" So I see all the kids these days, at the academy they're teaching, and they're all reading off their iPads and the trendy new softwares and stuff. And I'm still, music stand and a piece of paper, me. So
Brilliant.
I still get the music in the post. I love it. Yeah. And there's something really quite exciting and tangible about holding a new piece, holding something that hasn't been played before, and learning it, and getting it under your fingers and ready to go. So it's always a real pleasure to be involved with a new piece like that. And then of course, some traditional Welsh music going on as well. Yeah. For the night. So it's a lovely mix of stuff, isn't it? And it'll all be looking forward to playing it all very much, really. Yeah.
And it is lovely. Obviously, I always, prophets with that honour in their own country. So Carl, probably the most successful living composer in the world from just down the road. And lovely to have a new piece from him. And to bring you, where's home? Was it Aberystwyth? Is it sort of further west?
Aberaeron really was the nearest town. So between Aberystwyth and Aberaeron, so... Yeah. That's my patch, and still love to go back there, actually. It's funny how you still call it home, don't you? Even though you haven't lived there in 25 years. I still say I'm going home.
Well, you're halfway home on Saturday, the 29th of October. You'll be joined by, I was going to say Sir Hugh Edwards. I want to say Saint Hugh Edwards. Just Hugh Edwards. He'll be presenting it. It's new music from Carl. It's the Swansea Philharmonic Choir and the British Sinfonietta. It's going to be lovely. And we're delighted that you're back with us at the Brangwyn Hall. And don't let me stop you practicing. I can see the harps are in the background, so I expect you've got a couple of hours in front of you for the rest of the day. Catrin Finch.
Thanks, Mal. Looking forward.
Lovely to see you. Bye-bye.
Cheers.